What are you going to talk about today?
From Erie Zone Government Access, Channel 9, from the City Hall Council Chambers, it's time once again for the Taxpayers Hotline Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host...
Is that you?
Nope, it's not me, it's an illusion.
It could be an illusion.
I am an illusion.
I was an illusion last week. I was all alone.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. This is Councilman Kaskwatowski with...
This is DJ.
Incomparable DJ.
I don't even know what that word means.
Incomparable?
Yeah.
Means outstanding.
Outstanding? I don't know.
So
anyway, here I is.
You got one of those pesky colds again, don't you?
I got another chest cold and it went right into bronchitis. So I probably sound wonderful.
I don't know what we're going to do with you.
I don't know. I'm going to be the boy in the bubble.
That's true. We'll call you
The
Bubble.
bunch of plastic, and I'll make a big bubble and just walk around the city streets.
That's right. You won't be able to do that pretty soon, huh? Celebrate Erie's starting.
Celebrate Erie is coming.
Well, you're going to be there, right?
I'm going to be there for 4 days. We're doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night at the main stage. Cat TV Channel 2.
What do you do, the play-by-play? No?
Yeah. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. I'm getting ready. I'm psyched.
So what bugs you? Anything today?
Well, one of our volunteers, his mother passed away recently, like yesterday. So our hearts and thoughts go out to Chris, and I hope that you'll be okay. It's been a rough weekend for a lot of people, and so there's that. That's all I've got.
Nothing bothering you this week? I mean, nothing...
Except bronchitis.
Yeah, that'd be a bummer.
I found another sign taped up. This one's for budget computer service.
Oh, these are the ones that...
Yeah, this was like right out here in the square. It was like taped up on an electrical box out here in the square.
Let's see. We're not allowed to mention that it's budget computer service.
No, not at all. But they're not allowed to do that. So if you see a sign put up, they don't have the right to do that.
No, it's
feel free to take it
called
down.
urban blight.
Urban blight. Yeah, well, there's a lot of blight issues, and that's a small one, but something at least we can deal with. I just like to walk around and take them down.
Doesn't say their address is 516 State, does it?
No, that's actually fairly close.
Yes. We'll have to,
if we knew where that was.
Yeah, that does bother me.
Yeah, if I see any more, I'll take a walk. I'll go to them and say, no, don't do it. So
I've been trying to get some of the problems that people have been calling in for taken care of.
Yeah.
Slowly, it's working.
Yeah, well, you got a big list. Every week there's more stuff you're adding to it.
Yeah, it does kind of.
It just builds.
More and more.
Yep.
And yet some things never change.
No, some things don't change. You just keep doing what you can. You chip away at it, and it'll get done, man.
As you ride around the city, the same offenders.
Yeah.
Time and time again.
Right. Well, what do you got for me this week? You got one in particular or something you could talk about?
Nah, just a little bit of everything. I mean,
yeah.
We got so many grass problems. I got a TV set that. Too bad we can't make. Maybe if your group could make it work, it'd be good. We could put it up on a little stand, and we could turn it on, and people could watch TV while they're kind of like waiting for the stop sign.
I saw a TV on 6th Street out towards out past East High, and somebody just wrote the word "lies" on it and set it on a corner.
Oh my! Go ahead, caller.
Hey, I guess you used some of your clout.
Why?
I saw that house on 38th Street, the grass was cut.
Really?
Yeah, you mean you didn't notice it?
Well, I wanted to go by there today because I wasn't over that area. But that was on my hit list, that one, and they finally got the field next to my house cut.
Well, I saw this house. My God, that's a nice house. Somebody could put a few bucks into it. Now that you can see it's a decent-looking house on the outside.
Well, we talked about it at our last study session, and in a couple of weeks, we're going to be inundated with visitors, bringing their kids into school.
Oh yeah, well you can see garbage out already from the landlords putting it out there ahead of that garbage time, and
yeah, we're trying to figure out how to get that TV on 28th and East Avenue working.
but
Well, not 28th. It's about let me think, probably about 29th.
I think the city clerk ought to get a little piece in the paper stating spring cleanup isn't until next spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. You see the mattresses out.
Oh, you see mattresses, you see
Wood piles.
you see little cabinets out and all that, and wood and.
Yeah, I'm down to now 2 TVs. I can't remember where I saw the other one. The one I can say is on 29th, roughly 29th and
Pine Avenue on the right-hand side of the road.
East Avenue. I mean, there's one on Pine too.
Yeah, it looks like about a big old 37, 39 incher.
Where's that one? On what street?
I think it's right above Parsons Pane Glass.
Yeah, that's the one. I made a mistake. It wasn't East Avenue. Yeah, it's the one on that. You're right. It's the one on Pine Avenue.
But these people, the landlords should be responsible for this.
Yeah, if you can find them.
No, and code enforcement, I don't know. The mayor doesn't even know how many code enforcement officers he has.
We had a meeting with
Zimmerman?
with code. With code redevelopment, all of them, blighted review, and what's amazing is that the Commonwealth has some weird rules, and we got to find a way to. These 30-day waits, 60-day waits, all that, that's got to be...
Settle that.
Hey, we got to eliminate a lot of that stuff.
When the representatives come up for vote, when they come around begging for votes, lay it to them.
Yeah, I mean,
Of course, then again, once they get down there, they got more representatives than we do in Washington down there.
I mean, we're not talking about the old days where we saw one TV here once in a while, or...
You see it all over.
Yeah, it's starting to get... it's really ugly looking.
But,
and you wonder why, like you said, just when the grass gets that high, it starts getting embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know that house really looked that good. They had a porch.
Yeah, well, you couldn't see through there, but... And then again, there it is. It's not far from a couple of businesses like the pharmacy and that. And,
yeah.
You see that when you go over there. And then, like I say, in a couple of weeks, we're going to have people coming here from out of town.
Oh, that'll make a good thing. It'll look like Oakmont Street down in Oakmont, PA.
Yeah, of course, their kids are going to damage some of our properties in about a month anyway.
But I just want to say you did a good job, and now I want to go to another thing.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this.
Cobblestones, Eddie Kissel and the Sons and all that. And I can't believe that our zoning department there and the zoning board said this was all right. Have you ever walked that area?
Yeah, I was actually I met Mr. Kissel up there a while back, and I looked at it and I said, even for somebody that can walk, it's a little rough on your feet. Why would you put rocks there?
Those are the great big cobblestones.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody in a wheelchair or a kid falls.
Well, even in your shoes, it's pretty tough to negotiate.
Where's this at?
It's along the when you come out of the hotel.
Yeah.
And you're heading west along the walkway there.
Yeah.
They got these cobblestones.
Oh.
They look like the old markers in a golf course. Remember you had those great big, I used to call them big bocce balls?
Yeah.
But these are all concrete, rolled. And some person in a wheelchair falls or a kid falls. There's nothing to do. But, the first instinct that somebody has when they fall is to throw their hand out. Boy, they'll break their wrist.
Yeah. But, you're not going to get close with a wheelchair in that spot. No, you're right. A lot of times, I just think people, and I blame us to some degree, because we should be inspecting that as it's being, brought along phase by phase.
Right.
But there was an issue council. I'm going to watch this one. We wanted a park setting near the new hotel. In front of it. Mm-hmm. And I want to see whether they live up to what we passed as a council. we wanted to have some of that open so the public, we don't want it closed off and becoming private like.
Yeah, gated community.
Well, that's what they want. That's a lot of the plans is, they want to keep certain people out at certain times. And I'm going, the waterfront belongs to the people.
It's true.
And other towns have gotten around it by, you want to fence your property in, that's okay. But right along the water, that's got to be left open.
It should be.
Sure.
I remember years ago, you used to go down to, they call it the public dock down there, and it was wider, and you could go down and park and chew the fat, have a cup of coffee, fish a little bit. Now you got the ship down there taking it all up, and the people on the ship take the parking places, and it's all narrow, and of course, you got the tower up there. It looks great, but who's it for? It's not for the everyday bucket fishermen. They can't even go down there and fish half the time. They have an event coming, like pretty soon it's going to be the tall ships, to close that off. Unless you put up a buck or two to get in, you're not getting in.
Yeah, we got to find a way to, there's always a solution to all these problems, but nobody ever wants to sit down and talk about them.
Well, they're always interested in what's good for me, but not what's good for the older people and everything else. Talk about older people. I talked to a woman. She got one of these goofy calls, like the IRS or the magistrate and all that. You owe money. You've got to call this number and everything else. Yeah. Woman told me that she called the police department down there and gave her the number. And he told her to throw hers in the wastebasket. He got the calls too. But why didn't he address it the way he should have? He should have taken that number down, copied it, and forwarded it to someone else.
Well, it should be, I think the Attorney General is probably the one that it should have gone to.
Well, but I say, she made the complaint, and he just shrugged it off like she was wasting his time.
Well, what's bad about this is, for everybody that shakes him off, somebody's going to get nailed.
Well, sure it is. But he should have taken the information, her number, and the number she got, and got followed back on and said, well, this is what we did. If this happens again, contact so-and-so, whether it be the IRS. But they were saying it was a U.S. magistrate. I got the call, and I just hung up.
Yeah, well, they've been pulling this stunt for a while. I got one the other day. Usually they're taped now.
Yeah, you get robos.
Yeah, so you get all, shook up but I knew from experience that you don't get calls from the FBI and you don't get calls
You get a knock on your door, you get certified mail, or you see a sheriff out there or a U.S. Marshal saying, let's go for a ride.
Yep, and that's the truth. But they are using some unique scams lately. I mean,
true.
It's like that one, or you owe money to your credit card company, or.
Sure, you remember they had all these call in and you won't get bothered. Well, every 800 number somebody calls to donate something or whatever, that number automatically is put in I call it a roto index, and it's forwarded over here or there, and they sell them. And
you got to be careful. A lot of times when people enter contests over the internet,
yes,
or they answer inquiries, you got to read the fine print, and sometimes the fine print tells you right there.
Right, if you make a donation or whatever, we're going to send your number elsewhere.
Right, and they tell you, they'll tell you straight out in there, by doing this, you give us permission to place your number, and,
Well, I get calls every once in a while asking me how my back pain is and all that, and Medicare will cover this or cover that. Well, I always tell them I have a friend living in the house who might need it. And I tell them that my friend is Francis, and they say, Francis who? I said, Francis the donkey. I don't know if he'll talk to you today or not, but he's the only one that needs the back problems.
I got a call one night for a product. It's a product that a man wouldn't normally use. It was comical, the conversation.
Yeah.
But, it's amazing the calls you get today that are garbage. I mean,
There is a do not call list, but the
It doesn't-
problem is they don't play by the rules. These people are shady.
well, not only that, but sometimes you, like John just said, by calling up a certain number,
Yep.
you give them the right to put your number.
Yeah.
And then they're all fundraisers now. You notice that, John?
Yeah, I've gotten a few from various places like veterans. I said, well, I'll donate to the veterans here, or police departments call, and they're legit, but they're out of someplace like Indiana, Baltimore, or whatever. And I said, I'll give locally.
Yeah, I've been threatened too, and I just tell them, bring it on, come on down.
But you ask the ones that are getting paid to do this. You ask for the number and the location and all that, but they're just people out there collecting money and taking their percentage.
Yeah, here's a good scam. You got a computer, John?
Yeah.
They'll call you and they'll say, we're calling about your Microsoft problem. You heard that one yet?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they'll say, we're calling about your Microsoft problem. Are you Microsoft? No, we're calling about the problem. Are you Microsoft?
No, I get Dell.
And they go, and I go, you're not Microsoft then. It's these private companies. They're what do you call it, trolling and phishing.
Oh, yeah.
Be careful when they call you and say, we're trying to process your order for a toner or something,
Well, a lot of times you get a call, and if you ask them to speak to an American, they hang up.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll hang right up. Talking about hanging up, I'll get off, and we'll listen.
Okay. Let's hope we get some callers, right?
Yes. Please.
So one night I remember I was calling Time Warner, that's a real trip into the dark zone.
Yeah.
That's like going into the twilight zone.
You get lost in
The abyss of space, the black hole that exists in the universe. You never know what's going to happen.
dial this number to get to this menu, then dial this number to get to this menu, and then...
And you get a guy speaking in the Queen's English, and I go, hang on 1 second. Let me flip that page so I can get to where you are.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz, I was listening to you. I get the calls about your computer down.
Yep, that's the one I was talking about.
And they Chinese guys.
Yeah, just ask them, say, who are you with, Usually they won't tell you, though.
I tell my mother and father ain't home.
You can get away with that?
Yes.
Hey, Lloyd, try this one. Speak Polish to them.
Oh, you mean Deutsch, yes?
Whatever, just talk to them, And they're like, you listen to them, they're talking to you in English. I'm going, this ain't working out. Obviously, you're not speaking English to them.
No. They got one saying, are you diabetic? I said, nobody in our house diabetic.
They ask you that question?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's none of your business, right?
Yeah.
Huh, I'm not diabetic. I said, nobody here is.
Yeah, I like that. Sometimes I like to have fun with them if I'm not too busy.
Yeah.
But thank God for call screening. Lloyd, I recently had a little map I kept, and I was putting little cities on there that call me. It's growing every day.
Wow.
Yeah, I took one from Michigan a little bit ago.
Yeah, they're not like now. They either got 1-800 service or they got this weird number that you can't figure out. But now they're getting real cool. They put a city on there so that you think it's like. So if I recognize a city, I pick it up and I go, it's Detroit. Hey, DJ, how you doing? And the guy's like at the other end going, what? Aren't you DJ? No. Well, I don't know you then. That's it.
Yeah, I just like to pick up the phone when I know it's a troll or phishing, and I'm just like, it's done, but there's blood everywhere.
It's what?
It's done, but there's blood everywhere. And then just hang up.
Hey, Kaz, did you go by that house on 24th Street? Remember when I told you they ripped down?
Yeah.
Did you ever go by that?
And you mean you're talking about the pile that's left there, right?
Yeah.
You know what I found out? It was brought up at our last study session, too. This is amazing, but this is the law. We have to tear it down but we don't have the funds to take it away, and it's really not our responsibility. It's a responsibility of the property owner, and that creates a problem. That's why this state has, this Commonwealth has some of the weirdest rules that you've ever seen. So if the city's forced to take it down, they're not obligated, and they don't have the funds in many cases to haul the material away. Because sometimes that's more expensive than tearing it down.
Yeah, like this, remember, right in our alleyway there, garage caught on fire about a month ago? You know, between 23rd and 24th?
Right.
And the lady there, when he ripped the garage down, it looked like a piece of crap.
Yeah, we just don't have you'd be surprised how much money we don't have to tear down blight. And that's going to be a problem going forward. But yeah, we brought up about all these houses that are basically laying in holes, like, laying in the foundations. But the city doesn't have the money, or are they obligated to haul it away?
Or somebody going to catch on fire.
Well, that's the bad part, but we have to start going after the property owners more and more. But good luck on that thing,
Well, Zavada not that far away, huh?
What, another week, isn't it?
After this week.
So I still get the group discount for the good seats?
Yeah.
We'll have a Karpatski together.
Yeah, some brewskis, huh?
Yep, it should be a good time.
Oh, yes.
Who's coming in, do you know, this year?
No, I don't. Only the Marbells, I know that.
Yeah, somebody told me the Polka family's not coming in this year, but I don't know if that's true.
I can't remember. It's on the internet, holytrinitychurch.com.
I got to get on there. I'm not a good computer person. I'm not what do you call it, social mediate?
Yeah, social media is the devil.
We'll put Lloyd on there. What do you think, Lloyd? Do you want to be the mayor of that street?
No. We have enough shooters around there, don't we?
Yeah, it's not getting pretty anymore.
No.
I tell you what, the police, they really got their hands tied.
Not like Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
There's just too much gunplay lately. I don't know,
Yeah, did you read about Milwaukee?
A little bit, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't think none of us know the answer to a lot of these problems, to tell you the truth.
Now, I better go and let somebody else call.
Okay, but yeah, that's, I'll try to check in, see if we can do some with that material, but it's really, maybe we have to track down a homeowner, okay?
Yes.
But we'll see what we can do with it.
Okay, Ken.
Okay.
Bye.
There's got to be somebody that would take the stuff, like recycle it or use it.
A lot of times recycling is a big issue now.
Yeah.
When they tore down that one big building, the Commerce building, in the old days they would have dumped all that stuff in the bayfront.
Yeah.
Made a pier out of it or a break wall.
Sure.
Now you got all kinds of restrictions because of asbestos and contaminants.
Yeah.
Now you got to go to I think that one there, I think the building actually wound up off of I-90 somewhere in a registered landfill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the old days you didn't have they just, nobody knew any better, so they did it.
I know, a lot of the rules are better, but it's kind of hard to do it all right all the time.
It's just, with all the rules we have now today, nothing's as quick and easy as it used to be.
I guess that's why nothing can ever get done, because there's always a rule in the way. And they're not all good.
What, the rules?
There are some dumb rules.
Some are, but some are, you can't try.
Yeah.
I remember reading about when people were flushing their medication down their toilet.
Yeah.
Or down the drain. All of a sudden you read about the water actually has trace elements, and you're thinking,
yeah,
well, it makes sense, The lake is only so big,
My water is now an antidepressant.
But the lake is only so big,
Yeah.
They were shown, like in parts of the ocean, where, like in Florida, where they take the garbage out.
Right, and they just dump it.
But, they show pictures of where they're dumping it now is like real cloudy and then you got this nice, down the line. But eventually, if you keep doing that.
Yeah, it's going to leach into the water and make it all bad. I don't know. We're doomed. Let's just throw in the towel right now.
Well, when I was a kid, I used to think, where does all these batteries go?
Right.
Is there a big hole somewhere?
I used to know a guy that used to bury batteries. He had his own junkyard, and he had a huge pit bigger than a school bus that he just threw car batteries in. That was wrong. That was pretty bad. But no, now if you got batteries, just take them up to Best Buy. Best Buy takes back, I don't know if it's just rechargeables, but I think they take back whatever batteries. I got a pile of them that accumulate. We go through batteries like something fierce at CAD.
I was watching how they do recycling of car batteries.
Yeah.
On how it's made. Did you ever watch that show?
Oh, yeah. I used to watch that all the time. I used to love it.
They got reruns like around the clock.
Yeah. On the Science Channel, you can watch them all the time. Yeah, no, it's interesting stuff. They go show you how everything is made, from shoes to hot dogs. That one's pretty bad.
Do you really want to know what's in there, some of that stuff? No.
No, I don't.
Ooh.
No, sir. So, Celebrate Erie. What do you guys got planned for Celebrate Erie?
Nothing really.
Nothing really, just bringing in the big acts.
I'm not a carnival guy much, or celebration.
Yeah.
I got out of that some time ago.
Yeah, I'll probably get a fresh squeezed lemonade and some, whatever that fried dough is. It's about all I ever do at those things.
You like that, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's terrible. Terrible for you.
I remember when I was a kid, I wanted that sausage sandwich. I dreamt about that thing. When I finally got old enough and I had a job and I bought one.
Yeah. You're like,
It was, why did I wait this long?
You had high expectations and they were crushed.
Didn't live up to it. It just wasn't there.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, sir.
But in Buffalo,
Yeah.
I walked a half a mile for a certain company's hot dog, and it was worth it.
Yeah. No, I like these festivals. I like how we have different festivals at different times. I just did blues and jazz. That was great.
I get to a couple once in a while, but I'm not into it like I used to be when I was younger.
Blues and jazz was fun.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello, Kaz. I'm just calling to find out if you ever talked to the arborist about those trees I mentioned along 31st Street.
I brought up to her before, but I haven't seen her lately. She's been out of the office.
Okay.
But I will, as soon as I can grab her, because there's a lot of issues with trees I want to talk to her about.
Yeah.
And yours were the ones on. Let me see if I got my notes.
7, 8, and 900 block on 31st Street Boulevard.
Yeah, by Lincoln School.
Right, by Lincoln School.
If I can get a hold of her, she's been out of the office. She gets out quite a bit.
Oh, okay. Well, you will bring it up to her, though, won't you?
Yeah, because I got other issues about people are bringing up about other trees and what the final plan is for like East 38th Street with the trees there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I was just curious to see if you got any answers.
Yeah, she's just she's a hard person to find, especially this time of year, because she's out with a lot of these programs. Last time I saw her, she was up in where the dog park is on the east side.
On McClellan.
Yeah. And then she's got Frontier Park and the different other places. She's out an awful lot, which is pretty good. So I usually catch her more in the fall or the winter.
Okay, but you will bring it up to her.
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because I know those trees well.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Yep, DJ must have left here for a while. He's not at the top of his A game today. Let me make some notes here.
I left. I'm not coming back.
Ah, you're back. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, Kat. How you doing?
Good.
As long as you're on the subject of trees, there's some dead trees on a boulevard between Holy Rosary and Elm Street.
Geez, and I go by there. Which ones are? Yeah, there's quite a few, and that's on that, like by the firehouse and going down, right?
At least 3 or 4 dead trees, completely dead.
Okay, I'll bring it up to. In fact, I'll be seeing that because they'll be. I usually go to church over there at the Holy Rosary area.
What comment did you get about the garbage cans in the street after pickup?
Nothing that I could actually be happy about, but you're not the only one complaining now about that. So I'm going to have to sit down with him and talk about some overall problems about garbage.
Oh, okay. Have a good day.
Yeah, because you're not the only one. Somebody else is complaining about containers all over the place, open buckets, garbage strewn.
You know, one thing I've noticed that it's good to see the street sweeper, but he comes the day before the garbage pickup. Or would he come the day after the garbage pickup?
Yeah, you think it'd be better that way?
Sure would be, in case there's any refuse.
Hey, are they using water when they come by?
Nope, no water.
Now, see, they're telling me that they're instructed. Somebody's blowing smoke up a certain part of my body.
Mine does. I watched it on my street twice last week, and they were using water. It was truck number 600, and they were perfectly fine.
The one that's you're on the east side, like me, right, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. See, ours is not.
I'm on the east side. I live over by East High.
Well, we're up. I don't know. I don't know if it's.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a case of where you are. But
Yeah.
this gentleman and I, every time we go by me,
Yeah.
I see dust flowing up, but no water on the street.
No, I looked really close. I got right out there, and I was like, "Oh, I see the water coming out."
Oh boy.
Well, I'll keep you posted on that one.
Yeah, if you can get a number, they keep wanting a number out of me. I said, look, I can tell you the street they went down. They should have a, But I'm getting the same thing about they're not using water.
Oh, okay then.
Now, if they got one bad truck, that's one thing. Get it fixed then,
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, Cass.
Okay, and yours is you live over by where you just talked about, right?
I think he's gone.
Oh,
He's gone.
street sweeper is not.
I'm always looking for that too, since it gets brought up now and then. So
Heck, it's all it does is just.
It just spits dust all over the place. So no, my street, it was perfectly fine. The water was coming out and it was sweeping around.
Not like his idea. Heck, garbage should come after garbage pickup.
Right, that would be a good idea.
That would make too much sense, though, wouldn't it?
And they should know where the trucks are. I mean, each truck has a number, and they're assigned to a street for a
What do
day.
you would think, yeah.
Yeah, so that you should be able to find out what truck is supposed to be on that street, and just have them check the nozzles. Maybe it's a malfunctioning nozzle.
It is good news that we got that one house cut finally.
Yeah, that's good. One of my neighbors cut the grass in front of the one next door to me, so that was nice to finally get that cleared out.
Go ahead, caller.
Act like a bad penny.
Who? You?
Yeah, me.
An Indian head or Lincoln?
I better go Indian Head.
Wow. See, I'm a wheat penny era man.
You really?
Well, you got about a year or two on me.
Just a year or two. But what is going on with 38th Street? I see they got a survey crew out again. The state.
Whereabouts were they?
Oh, I want to say between Pine Avenue, Page Street, East Avenue, Wayne Street. They've been doing surveying up there for the last 3 years.
Well, we were told that next year, I believe it was next year, they're going to do some work on East 38th.
Got control boxes and paving and the whole shot.
Yeah, because I think they're finally going to tackle the problem of the left-hand turns that council put a resolution in for.
Yeah, Pine Avenue and 38th, right?
Yeah, not only that one, but Old French Road and.
Down where you got dangerous corners.
And I think there's some issues concerning the VA too.
True, where they're coming in and out of way up there on the west end.
I'll try to find out for you, but I just saw the traffic engineer and.
One of these days I'm going to pull over and get it from the horse's mouth instead of his tail.
Yeah. But I do believe it's all tied in with what they got planned,
Oh, yeah, the new control box, new lights, and all that. I do hope they pave it. But I hope everybody gets their act together with all the utility companies before they do pave it. Because it never fails once you go throwing in a new road, you get a fresh cut within a week or two.
Yeah.
That's true. I always remembered when they did Peach Street one time from the Boston store.
Yep.
Years and years ago, they did the whole street, and then only, it was 3 weeks later, and they're already cutting into it.
Yeah, we did that when I worked at the steam department of Penelec.
You guys did that on purpose, didn't you?
Yeah, we sure did. Well, I know we had Wass taking his turban and throwing it up in the air.
Wass, there's the name out of the past.
Wass Mocha.
Yep.
He was a brilliant engineer.
He was the one that designed the 2 left turns off of Peach Street when we're heading north. Remember this one?
Yep.
And you made 2 lanes heading west on 6th Street.
Mm-hmm.
But the 1 lane was worthless because you ran into the cars that were parked along the side.
True. It's almost like it is now by the courthouse.
Yeah, that's where it was.
Yep. You run right into the Gannon front ticket office.
I remember I asked him once. I was just walking down. I said, "Are you the engineer?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "Why would you have a left-hand turn there when if I stayed in this lane, it wouldn't work?" And he looks and he goes, "Oh, you're right."
We had him jump up and down on his turban a lot of times, almost as bad as Mario used to do.
Oh, Mario used to rip him apart.
Take his hat off, throw it and jump up and down on it. And
Wow.
Mario and Wass Mocha, they got along. That was like, what do you call it?
Dynamite and...
Yeah, nitro and dynamite, right?
Yeah, so... Okay, I see that the county wants to sit down and talk to the mayor and the city council and all that. And why don't we just forget about this and let the be will be? But the biggest problem is where are we going to find the money? And I know that they can have fundraisers.
Oh, there is a plan. I mean, they're.
Well, it's just like the county with their radio system. They go out and get $17 million bond floating. They take $3 million out of the reserve.
Ever since they got that gambling money, they're like sailors on a weekend pass.
Yeah, that's the way it is. Talking about that, I see the mayor has a surplus. How could he call $66,000 this year a surplus? It's just on paper.
Well, like I caution everybody that when he does this at the mid-year mark, what he's doing is projecting outward, and they do it pretty close. They're pretty close. We know when we collect the majority of our taxes. I mean, they've kept data for a number of years. It's not a big secret. We know that, okay, this is the percentage you'll capture. They look forward and they're figuring, revenue it's only going to dribble in. So you have to really control the expenses.
True.
So he's kind of saying, like, barring any unforeseen problem, if everything goes according to the way we planned, yeah, we're going to be 66,000 in the black. Okay, but
one little sewer backup or whatever, there it goes.
Well, yeah, and I cautioned everybody. I said that doesn't mean that we can take that money now and figure out where to spend it because it's not there yet.
Yeah.
And if it is there, then what happens to it? People don't understand this.
Goes into the general fund.
It goes into the general fund, right? So now, what there is every year there's a fund balance. At least you hope there is, and it's a positive fund balance. So when the year starts, we don't have to take out a loan any longer because we just go into the fund balance, you pull that out.
Transfer.
Well, actually, you could say that in a way because what you're doing is you're taking out of there and we just appropriate it as a council to take care of bills until, the revenue starts flowing in because people pay their taxes almost the same way every year after year after year.
True.
And so then that, if you can get by for the first 2 or 3 months, you'll be in good shape. You won't have to take out a loan, and then your other revenue will start coming in on a steady stream, and it takes care of itself.
That's true. Talking about taxes, has Ms. DeVicchio got her clerk work yet.
No, that's in court right now, from what I've been told. That issue is taken over by her attorney, and I think it's in the hands of the legal a judge right now.
Well, I heard a lot of different things.
What did you hear?
Well, I heard the mayor has one of his prospective people up there. He knows he's going to be gone, and he wants to appoint her to that job.
Look, I'm no lawyer, but it's clear to me that it's her appointment. You know, whatever she did in the past.
I agree with that totally.
Whatever she did in the past as a, you know, helping him out or something, that's fine. But at the end of the day, when you read it in its simplest format, and you know what, you can read anything you want into a law, but if it was me and that was my department,
you would jump up and down too.
I'd want, yes, sir, because you know it says that, you know.
Yeah, he may if she doesn't want.
Well, may and shall. We're fighting over words like may and shall. Well,
absolutely.
But shall means shall means that position has to be filled.
True.
But may means that if for some reason she thinks she can get along without a position, she would not be obligated to hire somebody.
That's true. And maybe this time of the year she can be, but the beginning of the year she needs that help.
That's true.
I wouldn't want to stand out there wanting to pay money for my city taxes and have to stand there 20 minutes to give away my hard-earned cash.
And getting back to EMTA, I mean, that issue is going to be, you know. I can't, you asked me a question, I had it at the tip of my tongue, I was going to tell you something about it, but, you know, not to worry, there is a plan.
I'm not worried about it. I'd rather see the city take it over with anyways. Because the county had the lift. They couldn't run that decently.
What bothers me is if I read the Erie Times or the Butler Bugle, whichever that is.
I call that the fish wrap news.
But, you know, they would have you believing that we have never, ever, ever met with them.
That's true, and that's how it's going.
And that is a bald-faced lie.
That's true.
You called me a liar, and I don't like that, you know, because I was at the meeting. I was at the one meeting that we met as a group, but we've had slimmer meetings after that, you know, the smaller sessions.
And you got Kyle Faust there. He thinks he's a hero.
Well, you know, this thing's been played out in the press, and that's not the place where decisions are made.
That's true.
You know, this coming from, this is amazing now. They tell me how we run inefficiently, correct?
Yeah, people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Well, I got to tell you a little story. My wife and I we still have a subscription. I don't know why, but I do. You know, I still feel some obligation. It's not a big subscription, but I still get it. My wife's Go Erie went out, right? Mm-hmm. It took them almost 2 months to fix it.
Oh, boy.
Now, you tell me about who's inefficient.
That's true.
I finally got somebody that, you know, after going through this over and over again, I'm going, if we ran the city like that, boy, I'd be the subject piece of one of their op-eds, you know. But one thing's interesting, you know, one thing about op-eds, if you have the time, go back, and I don't know if you can do it, Google anything you want, like some topic, you know, closing of academy, the EMTA issue, water authority, anything you want. Look at all the various op-eds they've written, and they go back and forth.
True.
Now, if a politician waffles like that, right?
Gone.
And what do you hear from him? Well, it's different opinions.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that doesn't mean that people can't change their opinion either.
Academy High School wasn't any good till they found out it was a vet stadium and not Academy Stadium.
That's true. And then
Marty didn't get a chance to buy it.
When they finally merged the two schools, you know how much staff they got rid of?
No, not too many, huh?
One.
Right.
That was it, the principal from the high school. But I laugh at those things, you know.
That's true. So, well, let's get ready to sharpen up the pencils. It's almost time for that budget again.
Oh, you enjoy that?
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to raise it, and I know that.
Why don't you come down and join me, and I wear my wizard hat.
Okay, you wear your wizard hat, and I'll wear my Mickey Mouse shirt.
He goes hocus pocus.
I'll wear my Mickey Mouse shirt. he's going to get more votes this year than anybody else.
Well, they're not.
I'll talk to you later.
Oh, man, that's going to be an interesting test of democracy.
Yeah, it's already. It's going to be a test, all right. I have no idea how that's going to turn out.
I'm not getting involved in politics over the air.
Nope.
But if I ever do a comedy act of juniors, you're going to love it. That's all I do. Hang on tight. You'll be one for the ages.
Here it comes.
I'm thinking I got to call him. I'd like to do one.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Kaz tells all.
Kaz tells all. Is that after you leave office?
Yeah, do it before. I don't care. I'm at a happy time in life. You know that?
Yeah. No stress.
No stress.
I'm like that. There's a lot of stuff coming up. I'm not 100% up to speed right now, but I'm not going to stress. I'm just going to do what I can. Stuff's going to work out.
I used to get all nerved up about everything. Nah, not worth it. But all things will be solved.
All things will be solved.
Where reasonable people will meet, reasonable things will happen.
Reasonable.
That's the key word.
Reasonable. Well, good luck with that.
Not.
I wish I had more to talk about.
You had something locked up
I
last.
really did last week, and I was.
You didn't make a note, did you?
Talked about this. I didn't make a note. I might have. I think I've been bringing a book with me and writing stuff down, and I totally forgot what I was going to talk about. It might have had something to do with GE. It might have had something to do with getting another company in here. If they're going to walk out, we need a company to come in and use the facility.
You know what the problems with GE are many, and they're complicated. Not as simple as.
Well, if they're going to pull out, then the problem's not complicated. They will go, and the building will be used by somebody else. I still say renewable energy. It may not be the answer to everything. We're always going to have coal. We're always going to have nuclear. But the more wind power and solar power we can have, the less we depend on those other things.
The problem is, how do we make those things in the United States, though? That was,
We need to just do it. We need to get a plant up and running and show the world that it can be done.
Right now, they can go overseas and make stuff cheaper.
There has to be a way. I mean,
And that's a big issue. I mean, when I was a kid, it seemed like everything was made here.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when you could drive down 12th Street and you'd see bulldozers and backhoes.
Yep.
Right outside of Osiris Erie,
Yeah.
seeing if testing the machinery out. And people were aggravated by the trains that temporarily closed 12th Street for a few minutes while they crossed over from the siding. I mean, you think back to the days when people were complaining about the trains blocking roads and everything. The smell from Hammer Mill, the noise from the forge.
Yeah.
What do you think? They think they'd like to go back again?
I know people wouldn't, like some of that. I mean, but there's got to be a way.
Working on.
There's got to be a way to get industry back.
I used to joke. I mean, like people used to complain about the airport. They were going to bring in this mechanical facility that would entail them firing up the jets at night.
Oh wow!
But no different than they would if they were taking off.
Yeah.
Right. And people were livid, and I'm going. Did you wonder what that big strip of concrete was?
Yeah.
And did you wonder what those little silver things were?
Yeah.
That come out of the sky,
Yeah.
And I can remember as a kid now, if you'd have gone over to one of the factories and knocked on their door in the middle of the night going, your train and it's keeping me awake, delivering coal, or your forge, it's keeping me awake. What do you think they would have done to you?
Laughed in your face?
No, they probably would have buried you in a coal pile.
Oh, well, there's that too.
Pretty close to laugh at.
After they laughed at you, then they'd bury you. Okay, well, we can't go that way, but there's still got to be a way to get at least some industry back, because tourism is great, but when you don't have anything going on
I don't see it, because I think
what are we going to do?
the issues the issues are such that, they're going to certain states that offer certain things that are, unthinkable to some people,
Yeah.
but it's the reality of the new. It's like a guy, somebody wrote a letter one time. I was reading on one of these sites and it said, I'll be glad to take a 50% pay cut if you will too.
Yep.
To the congressman, to the medical facilities that, would you take, 1/2 less?
Nobody wants to.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, we're probably coming to strange times where things are not going to be as they used to be. And the question will be, which way do we go? Do we continue to fight or capitulate?
It's just weird because it used to be, able to raise a family on one income. You used to be able to, dad goes to work, dad brings home the bacon. It's not that way anymore. You have two people and you're still struggling to support the family.
And that's led to a lot of social issues because you have parents that are both working, kids are raising themselves.
Yeah. Well, yeah, one thing's led to another, and that's sort of why we're having a slow and steady decline of society, because parenting, the parents aren't there to teach the kids what's wrong and right, and the kids are just off doing their own thing. I'd love to get back to some family values. I really would. The nuclear family.
Nuclear?
Have a regular family.
When I was growing up, that had a different meaning. If you're raised during the Cold War, being nuclear was not a good thing.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. No, that's duck and cover. That's the, what was that turtle's name? The turtle from...
Pogo?
No, duck and cover. He had a name.
In where?
In all the commercials for duck and cover.
Ooh, I don't remember his name.
Wow, I got a trivia question that you didn't know the answer to.
Wow, I forgot about the turtle.
The turtle, yep. He's like...
I remember the boy taking his sister and shoving her down in the gutter, like...
Right. If a nuclear blast occurs and you lay in a gutter, you'll be okay.
Well, we got in trouble at Columbus School.
Really?
Yeah, an unnamed person, he and I are both... he was an elected official like me, and we were a couple of smart kids,
Yeah.
not that way,
Wise.
We were
Wisecrackers.
we were sitting there thinking, we had just watched that movie where they had obliterated that town in Nevada with the test thing.
Yeah.
And, and we're sitting there in the school and the little alarm goes off, and you either did one of two things. You either went under your desk or you went down the hall and faced your locker.
Right.
Neither one was a good idea.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there chuckling, and the teacher comes by, and she wasn't happy with us. And we go, this ain't going to work. I mean, we just saw this on,
Yeah, the town was obliterated.
Yeah, the desk is going to be tossed,
How's this going to help?
Yeah, I'll be inside my locker when the thing goes off,
Yeah.
and she goes, you're scaring the younger kids. Different generation.
Different generation. We're in different times now. I don't even think you could have drills like that and people would even pay attention. You can't do the duck and cover drills, which is a completely different time. I don't know. Ooh, phone call to save them.
Maybe he knows the answer to the turtle question. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Ken, it's me again.
Yes.
Hey, when what's his name was here Friday, who pays for that bill?
When Trump was here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
I was told that the campaign committees, I'd have to double check again if I heard it right, but I heard in the past the campaign committees would pick up a portion of the bill. Now, in the case of a sitting president, I don't think that's the case. But on candidates, I was told that they do help defray the cost. You know what? I was thinking about that, and I'm glad you reminded me. I'm gonna bring it up with with somebody here in the city. Okay?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it too. Yeah, we have to pick up the whole bill. That's a lot of money for him.
Well, they pay for the arena. I know that, but where our fee comes in is when we have to hire like extra police officers and stuff.
Yeah, that was just one.
But I seem to remember in the past that they were supposed to get money from the campaign committees. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't.
But for this idiot, it was a lot of money.
Well, it's a lot for any town. Think if this is New York, you have to multiply that problem. It's all relative,
Yeah.
I mean, like we probably had a few extra men, not to mention the time and effort going into it. And then you gotta coordinate the whole route. I'll try to find out for you, but I remember in the past people asked and they said, I thought they said that they sometimes get a portion of the money, but I don't know if that's
true anymore.
If they have to, and it becomes a little more complicated if you had a case like if Bush came here as a president, remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
He was a sitting president, so that may be a different issue altogether too.
Okay, I'm going to let you finish up.
Yeah, no problem, but that's an interesting question, and I will get you the answer because I'm curious, and I thought about it, and I seem to remember what I thought it was in the past, but that's not always the case in the future, though.
Okay. All right.
See you, Lloyd.
All right, there.
I think we're...
Oh, we got about 3 minutes left.
Hey, we do.
Yep. Yeah.
We got to find out that...
We need to make things happen. Write it down.
The turtle...
I could look it up. I'll look it up.
In duck and cover.
I'm going to look it up just because we're going to kill the last 3 minutes here because it was a slow day. I tried to bring stuff up.
His name wasn't Petey, was it?
I don't think it was Petey.
All turtles are named.
Maybe this person has the answer.
Go ahead, caller.
Good afternoon, Kaz.
Yes.
A question for you. Is there, on Harvard Street between 29th and 30th, where the old school used to be, now Sarah Reed?
Yes.
When they park on both sides of the street, and that's a curve in that street, you can't tell whether traffic's coming at you or not. It makes kind of a problem when they have them on both sides of the street there. If you could have someone look at that and maybe change that so that during certain hours, when the school's in session, they wouldn't have someone going through there.
What school's there now?
It's the old Harvard School on Harvard Street.
Yeah.
Between 29th and 30th there.
Oh, right there. Yeah, I know. The Hamilton, you mean, right?
Pardon me?
Isn't that Hamilton School there?
No, it's Sarah Reed now.
But I mean, was that school Hamilton in the past?
Harvard. It was like a preschool Harvard. Grade school, and then for a while there it was international, had that, and they were teaching the people there arithmetic and so forth.
Okay. At 29th and 30th on Harbor Street, right?
If you go out 29th, it's probably about 2 blocks beyond the Green Garden.
Yeah, I think they called that Hamilton in the old days.
Oh, they may have. Yeah, that's right. I think you're right.
Yeah, it's got the big field next to it, right?
Exactly.
And then you go around, there's like a city park there, too?
Not really. You go around, that's a neighborhood there. That's where that one guy lived there. I can't think of his name right now.
I mean the school director?
Yeah, he was a school director, and him and his brother.
Yeah, Braybender.
Braybenders lived there.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's Hamilton School, and you're saying that between 29th and 30th, that's where the problem is, right?
Yeah, because if they park on both sides of the street, it's like, one lane left, and you can't really see if you're coming down from, 32nd Street to 29th and see if someone's coming up that way.
So it's on Harbor Street that the problem is, right?
Right. It is a problem at times, when they're in session.
Okay. Yep, that is. I remember that was the old Hamilton. Now I know what you're talking about.
Correct. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
I just thought, it's a safety factor there. It could be a problem.
Do you live by there?
Yes, I do.
Why don't you leave your number on my home phone, and I'll come up sometime and take a walk with you.
Okay. Home phone.
You don't want to give it over the air, so.
Okay, I'll get it.
You know how to get my number?
No, I don't, but I'll find out somehow. I'll call
I'll give it to you. It's 825
Okay,
7601.
7601. Okay, Kaz.
Just leave your number on my message machine.
I sure will.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's it, right?
That's it. We are out of time.
Did you find out?
I found his name.
Is this going to be good?
Should I even give it? Maybe we should leave for next week.
Nobody's going to remember it.
Okay, Bert.
Bert.
Bert the turtle. From Duck and Cover.
Here, I thought it was going to be something.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was like Myrtle or something. Myrtle the turtle.
I was expecting something like, what do you call it? What do you call that where the bomb hits?
The,
point zero or something?
oh, yeah. Ground Zero.
Ground Zero. I thought that would
Ground
be
Zero the turtle. No, I don't know. That'd be a little weird. Harsh.
Bert. That's it.
Bert, yeah, that's like Bert the turtle.
Now I'm going to have to go home and look up on there the
Just Google,
the
YouTube.
YouTube video.
YouTube, Bert, YouTube, Duck and Cover. And on that note, we're going to duck and cover out of here.
It's like trying to figure out the name of the parrot on a sneaker commercial.
I don't know.
Holly Parrot.
How about the parrot mascot for Schick razors back in the 60s?
You know the name of them?
I do.
What was it?
Sharpie.
Sharpie?
Yeah.
No, you're wrong. That's Gillette.
Oh, well, I don't know which company, but his name is Sharpie.
Be sharp, feel sharp. Gillette Blue Blades.
I've been taught.
And with that, we better leave before we get...
We're totally out of material.
Yes, we are.
I'm done.
I was going to ask you about that. Sharpie.
Right,
Ethan.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching the Taxpayers Hotline Show on Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9.